I have a distant memory of sitting down to write with my left hand and writing my name backwards, writing P, but going that way instead of going that way. Like mirror writing. What does this say about him?
Paul McCartney was killed in an automobile accident in early November 1966 after leaving EMI recording studios tired, sad, and dejected.
The supposed or alleged death of Paul McCartney took place in that time, and we didn't hear anything recording-wise for 9-10 months.
There is a rumour that he is dead, actually.
People got off on all kinds of tangents in those days. You know, Paul's got a black carnation in his lapel, so he must be dead.
Later on, people would say, why do I have a black carnation and the others have red ones? It was simply that they'd run out of red ones. The only one they had was a black one, and I was the last one to get one, so it was no more significant than that. But of course, in the Beatles' history, these things take on huge significance.
I don't try and analyse too much. I think it's dangerous. It's like believing your own myth, you know?
No doubt about it, we're risking our lives to preserve a useless member.
Take this, brother. May it serve you well.
We sent out Strawberry Fields Forever. We were convinced a few lads had discovered the backwards message. Bit funny, Cranberry Sauce sounded like our Berry Paul. But we didn't even think of that. I mean, of course, there's a slight chance that John did without telling me.
Paul we ended up doing Abbey Road quickly and putting out something slick to preserve the myth. To preserve the myth.
Oh, darling, please believe me, I can be lifted.
The theory goes like this, Mike. Supposedly, Paul McCartney was involved in an automobile crash in 1966, which took his life, and an attempt was made to suppress it, and clues are supposedly dropped in the record albums and in the music itself.
You listen to it backwards and it says, Paul is dead.
It was off the ball as far as I'm concerned, you know. It was like, oh, okay. What is this, number 9? Number 9, you know.
Number 9. Yeah, number 9.
When Revolution Number 9 is played backwards, sounds and words transform into new clues.
Have you seen the hidden message? Do you know what it says? Look at this.
The Sgt. Pepper's sketch that John Lennon did, and then we got talking about the album cover and realized, you know what, yeah, it's been a few years since the actual album cover, and a lot of people don't realize all the symbolism that's there.
If you look closely at Lennon's drawing, you'll notice it depicts only 3 of the early Beatles wax figures, most likely standing next to Sonny Liston. Also, mysteriously, out of the 4 figures in the center, the one of Paul has no face.
How did you feel when the Beatles split up? Was it a liberation or was it difficult?
No, it was very difficult. It wasn't a liberation at all. Personally, it was a liberation because I'd been living with 3 guys, you know, and that's nice in one way. But you know, if you're a guy growing up, you don't want to live with 4 guys, 3 guys.
There are 5 Beatles. The clue is in the cover.
And if you want to think I'm part of some conspiracy, then great, you know.
Also, over here we have George Harrison, and he's pointing directly to a line in the libretto which says, Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock.
The time when Paul was OPD, or officially pronounced dead.
Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock. Sorry that I doubted you. You were in a car crash and you lost your head. Don't pass me by, don't make me cry, don't make me blue. He blew his mind out in a car.
Is a day in the life, which I thought was the best poem.
That's a sort of mystery, that one, you know, and I'd like to leave it as a mystery now.
He didn't notice that the lights had changed.
Yeah.
These are feet. This is an original Paul McCartney drawing off the ground.
I think there was a clip you showed earlier on where it said, well, explain what the name Beatles means. You know, well, it's just a name, like shoe. Yeah, we could have been the shoes.
It means Beatles, doesn't it? You know, if that's just a name, you know, like shoe. Means shoe. The shoes. You see, we could have been called the shoes for all you know.
As you know, on the cover of Abbey Road, 28 if and no shoes, quite conclusive proof that he's dead.
28 if he lived.
I mean, it was just so tenuous, these links, you know, it's like the Volkswagen, its number plate is 28 IF. That means he would have been 28 if he'd lived.
There's a car in the shot that says 28 if, so people say he would be 28 if he'd lived. I tried for 2 hours to find the owner of the car to get it out of the shot.
Now, he's got no shoes on. That's a mafia sign of death.
On the Abbey Road cover, Paul's seen walking across the road with bare feet, which is, I'm told, signifies death in Italy, you know.
The lyrics in You Never Give Me Your Money, Nowhere to Go, nowhere is spelled with a K as nowhere to go.
And similarly, I would encourage him to keep lines in his songs that he didn't think were very good. And I'd say, no, that's a really great line. There was a song of his called Glass Onion, where he had a line about the walrus. Here's another clue for you all. The walrus was Paul. And he wanted to keep it, but he needed to check it with me. He said, what do you think about that line? I said, it's a great line. You know, it's a spoof on the way everyone was always reading into our songs. I said, here we go. You know, we give them another clue to follow. So we would check stuff against each other. And it was obviously very handy for our writing to be able to do that.
I looked at his face, and it really tells a story. Everything about his life is on his face.
If you play it backwards, it clearly says Paul is dead.
If you play this backwards, it says Paul is dead.
Play it backwards and it'll say, Paul is dead. Paul is dead. Paul is dead.
It says Paul is dead.
Paul is dead.
Paul is dead.
I'm a Beatle, Paul is dead.
That's a long rest. You got me, I'm talking backwards. Aaron Paul is dead.
I buried Paul.
LMW 28IF.
I said my name was Dan LaRue.
The only question mark in the lyrics of the back of the Sgt. Pepper's cover is in the line, "Are you one of them?"
Well, you can imitate everyone you know.
Brother of former Beatle Paul. I was thinking of jigging it to say former brother of Beatle Paul.
When she was a little baby, and she said, "Are you Paul McCartney?" No, I'm Daddy.
Really?
I'm Daddy. I'm very good at forgetting who I am, because it's like, as far as I'm concerned, Paul McCartney is like the name I was given.
Which one is Paul McCartney then?
That's me sometimes. Paul McCartney.
It's like it's a
It
bit.
sounds good now.
Sounds all right now. I must say, I've grown into it. Put a lot of work into that.
Immediately before Revolution Number 9, an eerie McCartney-like voice sings a short, death-influenced set of lyrics, which are mysteriously not printed on the album insert.
Can you take me back where I came from? Can you take me back? I've got to admit, it's getting better. Get back to where you once belonged. Hardly know you was happy.
What if we played it backwards, and then what if we did that?
It's murder. Do you still feel like that 24-year-old who wrote that stuff, or does that seem like a different person?
I wish. Oh, you do, you know, I feel like him, yeah. But then I look in the mirror in the morning and I'm not him.
Talk about split personalities.
Paul McCartney's the sort of successful bit of it all that I'm very proud of, but I don't imagine I'm him, because it'll just blow my head off.
Beatle fans who play their new song, Free as a Bird, backwards will find a secret message by John Lennon.
And nice again.